And welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions footage of the Spring at Winter Open at Winter Farms, Brantford. I'm Patrick McCauley, and I'm here with...
And I'm Brownie.
We got the back nine brought to you, covered by Jay, True North Disc Golf, Peacebridge Disc Golf Days, Gripped and Ripped, the whole gang's in here, looking at the beautiful property of the Winter Family Farm, just outside of Brantford. That is looking over the Long Bomber course, but we're in the Winding Woods this afternoon.
Very tight, very, very difficult. And then we remind you, we have Oz on the card in first place by a lot. Cam's in there holding in. Still got that fantastic hair.
Going down the front ways this time.
There's Jake.
He's ready to rock. Jake Voskamp.
And Jimmy D.
Getting into the woods. Now Jake, I think he's may have been on footage before, but this is the first time he's been in a Peacebridge production. We'll see how he turns out.
Now we're down to hole 10. Similar to hole 9, if you can remember to the last video. It's all about hitting that first gap. It's 361 feet, still a par 4, so it is eagleable. But the gap you have to hit is maybe 4 feet wide. And if you kick any tree, you can go down into the water. You can put yourself into trees that you don't want to be behind. It's a tough one.
Yeah, this one is insanely tight. However, there's two gaps on either side. So sometimes, you know, that if you're going to miss by a lot, that works out sometimes. And I've seen good results off some gap misses before it can happen.
I would say there's a log pile. 2 log piles about halfway up that you can see there. If you can get just in front of those, you are looking for an easy birdie.
Oz, your 11 down leader.
Oz did exactly that. Just sort of dropped it up past those log piles, the second log pile up there, and then he can just forehand into the basket.
Yeah, it's a great way to get a little anti-skip too if you do catch a tree. Pushes you back to the fairway, and Zanini goes for the pure instead.
Yeah, this is clever, just biting off the fairway halfway. If you start getting too aggressive and you start clipping trees, you can get yourself into bad spots.
There are adjacent fairways on either side, but even further to the right is an out-of-bounds swamp too, which is not out of play here. You could reach there. And Jake, nicely done with the wide hyzer.
I am almost certain he was not going for that wide hyzer, although James hits the same gap. But good result for Jake, bad result for James. So he's behind these 2 log piles, so he's going to have a long, tight gap to hit before he can get anywhere near the basket. See what he can do.
Yeah, he luckily does have kind of a re-entry lane if he goes to the right side, but he goes low and catches a stump, unfortunate. And that's kind of exactly what he wanted on the first one, but...
Easy par. It's tough because this is definitely one you're pretty much counting a 3 on when you get up here. So
yeah, you really want it. It's a nervy par, if an easy par, and Oz is going to have a nice little stable panning forehand to tap it in. And Jake lining up for a long jump putt.
This is Jake's drive. This is really far up the fairway. If he wanted to, he could give this a healthy run to try and get that eagle.
That's what I think. Maybe jump putt, and it is.
Yeah. I could do it. Come on.
And
that's right there, though. He's not complaining about the easy tap-in birdie on this one.
Cam from circle 2. Going also for the stepper, but just a little bit right. And Oz making quick and easy work of hole 10.
This is exactly how you design the hole. Take it halfway, lay up your next shot, take your 3. If you can do that every time, you're gonna be laughing.
Yeah, that's how it's done. And this hole was played slightly below par with, count 'em up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 birdies.
9 birdies on this
the
hole.
field, on the 20-man field.
Yeah, so that's why you're saying taking a 4 on this one is just it is a lost hole stroke to the field, unfortunately. And then we get up to hole 11, 291 feet. Another. It's not so much tight, but the line is tough. You can play this pretty easily for the gaps and take your 3. But if you want to get to the basket, you got to hit a very tiny gap of either a flex forehand or a hyzer stand up, something like that. Get through these skinny trees on the right and hope you nuzzle near the basket.
Yeah, no promises when you do get to the green, because as you can see the elevation there that starts right about now, it's going to push all the discs away that do get anywhere near it to begin with, so you're going to be fortunate to get up there. Here is your leader.
And then it looks like he did it. If you can, the right-hand side up there has a whole bunch of really tiny trees that just kick you every which direction. So he must have gone between 2 of them because he went right through the patch of trees.
Yeah, the little mini fist bump. He's got to be happy with that.
That looks like a play for a run for like a long run for 2 or an easy 3. I don't know if he was going for that, but he definitely played it pretty safe.
And I guess that's probably why, because Jake definitely went for the full pump.
And he got a huge kick to the right. I don't even know where he's going to be. Hopefully he didn't make it to the water. It is far away, but it is doable.
I think he's panned probably just below hole 10's basket.
This shot looks great.
That's fantastic. He might not have a clear lane, but he's... Jake might have a clearer lane than Duong does.
Yeah, he's fortunate to have only kicked that far away. I know it's
a little that problematic green, as I said, spitted back across the path. But
all that luck he got for not getting too far away, and he got penalized for it.
Yeah, the karma just evened itself out real quick there, and Cam's got a nice pitch up, good safe par, like you said, and now James
3.
has got, Jake. He's outside the circle probably. It's going to be a bogey. Jake's sitting really nice right now at -5. I had the pleasure of playing with Jake Voskamp on his very first AM2 division card at the Provincials 2 years ago at Eddyville.
James off the cage there.
And he had some struggles. He had some amazing shots. His dad was caddying for him. He was really, really checking everyone's ego who was, in their mid-30s, and he was out driving everybody with a leopard. Oz is in for
a 2 there. Nice birdie.
Nice birdie there. And he went on to, in a playoff, win Provincials in AM2, his first ever major tournament at 16 years old.
Yeah, and now he's moved up. Now he's doing really well. I think he's winning pro tournaments now. So
yeah, he's here to stay, and he's only getting better and better. The young guys in the Ontario talent pool are developing at a rate that I don't think anyone would have saw. Catching up and passing the pros that have been here for 10 plus years already.
Yeah. Hole 12. This one here is it's tight. You gotta get kind of lucky. The popular play is just chuck an overstable forehand up into the left and let it fall into the basket and plinko around these trees and then make whatever putt you get. It's not very long. There's also that really skinny gap if you just want to go straight at it, but
I call that the fool's gap.
Definitely a fool's gap. It's a Oz catches a tree.
Oh, it's feeling a little foolish on that one. Maybe I don't know.
No,
it's tough to get through even the big gap. So
definitely not. It's a tiny gap, and it's hard to hit that, especially if you want it in the angle you want.
Cam, he's right in. Now he needs a skip. And yeah, he's got it. He's going to be in there pretty close. A little short, but close.
Yeah, that inside route always keeps you a little short. If you want to get parked or close, you got to kind of swing it out wide like James does there perfectly.
I love the options you can take on this hole. You can go long, wide with the forehand. You can cut it in there. You can skip it up. You can do a big turnover, something understable at the backhand. Shout out to Huxley on this one. sponsoring up with his pools and spas, and Jake.
Oh boy.
Oh, that looked like it was going to be parked, but
When you're coming down through that Heiser gap, you're going to catch a tree. 99 times out of 100, you're going to catch a tree. So it all depends on where you get kicked to.
I kind of love this hole. Very.
It's when you step up too, and you're counting the 2, but you can very easily let it get away from you.
Yeah, and it was really good effort to go on a downhill.
That was
there.
scary. Good thing he's athletic.
Cam doesn't like what he sees.
Wow, this is where Cam he almost puts it in, and now this is where he gets rewarded with.
There's only about 12 feet behind him where the swamp is OB too, so he got.
I don't think he went OB.
No.
I think I would have heard about that. And he chains out.
That's a tough one. It was a really great shot off the tee.
You kind of expect to catch a tree coming through here to keep you within birdie range. So to not hit anything is very unusual.
Well, mystery solved. He was parked.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And that's a birdie you want to take on 12. Not a lot of work.
You can see Cam's frustration with that there. It's understandable. Oh, hey Oz, what's up?
Just saying hi to the gallery up here. And a nice little ballerina kick there for his par.
Indeed.
All right, off to 13. This is a doozy. How do we break this one down, Brownie? What do you even try here?
So if there wasn't so I don't know if you saw it in the drone flight there, but there's a tree that's kind of leaning now. It's kind of blocking the high route to where you could attack the basket. So realistically, I think everyone here is just going to throw it to basically where we are now. Try and throw it as straight as possible. Not try to bite off too much. Just keep it in the fairway, and then pitch up and take your 3. I don't see this being too attackable with the way the current hole is set up. You'll see the branch in a second.
We have an entire tree leaning into the fairway too, mind you.
That little tree is what's holding up those branches, and it's just forcing everything down. So that is perfect from James.
Yes, amazing spot and amazing control to get through this extremely, extremely long and narrow fairway.
Yeah, 372 uphill. You're not going to get too many people who are going to be getting there on a low ceiling. So
very fortunate kick for Jake there. Didn't quite get any turn on his disc, but it spit it back out into the middle anyway.
That looks like a Pathfinder from Oz here.
That it is. So
he's
going
go mid-range.
Yeah, mid-range turnover. It's probably the smart way to do it.
Maybe a little Annie on it.
Yeah. Now he's going to push. Obviously, he turns it over because it's a Pathfinder, but you're not risking a huge tree kick that way.
I kind of like the forehand play here. It keeps you off the fairway because you're going to the right, but it keeps you from falling down that hill to the left into terrible spots. He gets lifted instantly. He's in a world of hurt from here.
Oh, I see roller angle again. No, just panning it over.
I don't know if he was trying to roll. It looked like he was trying to roll that, and it just maybe the wind sort of took it sideways, but
it didn't get down in time. Yeah.
Either way, he's in a decent spot to get up and down for a 4.
Yeah, because you could easily zigzag your way up this hole for a 6 if you get into trouble that early.
Yes, he can.
From experience, was that?
Luckily, not this weekend.
Oh, Jake is going aggressive, high, and a great cut in and skip on that forehand.
Gee, that had a chance.
Then check out our group events at Disc Golf Days, sponsoring in partnership with Top Link Disc Golf on this hole. Cam Zanini looking to get some Circle 1 action. He's probably inside it, I think. But again, the angle from being wide on that fairway, it's hard to enter without catching those trees on the right. And Oz goes out to the left to avoid the cluster of trees, and that's definitely the way to enter the green if you can.
This hole is so uphill. It's so hard to get it on camera. Oh, and James catches a tree. He's not liking that. That's a mistake that James doesn't usually make with his forehands.
Now he's gonna have to work for it. really good bid.
The amount of bans and chain outs and other missed putts James has hit this tournament is astounding.
He could be right up there or past Jake even. I don't think he's in Oz range yet, but yeah.
No, he hasn't
with
missed that
those
many
kicks.
putts.
But- And here goes Jake by the, looks like the broken, sawed off tree.
It's hard to get a good push when you're up the hill that much.
Just on the crest, yeah.
Yeah. Jake seems to do it no problem though.
Yeah, another good athletic build. Right for disc golf. He's one of the shorter players you'll see, but we've come to find out through the body physics and stuff that being long and lanky isn't necessarily the be all and end all of a good disc golfer.
It would help though.
Here we go, hole 14. Kind of a windy entrance to this green.
Yeah.
And then some more guardian trees to even protect it inside the circle.
Yeah, this hole, I've seen a lot of people try different ways to attack it. My opinion, if you're righty, is just a little flex forehand, something a little bit overstable, so you can put it out high on an Anheuser and just let it follow the fairway the whole way. I've seen people try to throw floaty backhands to try to make a putt. Yeah, that's what you'll see a lot. You'll see that so much. It's so tight trying to make that turn. Oz going down to a knee. I thought he was going to try and take your route there from a long bomber.
The old patent pending
Yeah.
off the tee.
Yeah.
Well, the forehands, okay, he goes really inside.
Yeah, and that, he catches a tree late. But I think that's the angle you need to put it at with something really overstable. James is going burr. I just don't see it fighting back enough, but prove me wrong, James.
Well, you kind of left it flat enough, I guess.
Uh,
You're going to be long, if you do get through, you're going to be long on the downhill slope, but also maybe betting that he's not going to get all the way down there anyway.
True. You can see how much angle Cam is thinking on his throw. He gets that up a little high.
Yeah, and it stables up. But he's not going to roll away like Jake did. This happens a lot.
Oh my goodness, he went down there far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if that forehand drive is too much on edge, it will just go right down there. Oz jumping from the steps, and he needs that to check up. I think it did.
It looked like it was fine.
Does Cam have a lane on this putt?
There are lots of gaps to the right that you can find a way through. So, and he does, for sure.
Beautiful job. Great bird. Jake now save par through the wickets of the saplings.
What a putt.
Well done.
That's for a 3 save, too.
That was, excellent save.
James with his probably the best drive of the bunch hits cage. Oh,
that's a tough one. And Oz did roll away a little bit further than we thought. Now he's got to get a little creative here for this par. I think, is he going right between the two big trees? Yep.
And he misses it.
Chains it.
That looked awkward. He wasn't in a good spot. It's unfortunate of Oz. That's not one you want to be foring.
No, he goes back one, and we're off to the pirate hole. Thank you to Allison Radish at Rad Disc Dives for sponsoring this hole.
Yeah, that hole actually only had 2 twos on it on the day, believe it or not. And that was the other one was Cam Zanini, which you saw, and Thomas Hums.
It's been surprising some of the results here, but such is the Winding Woods.
Yeah, the woods will get you. So the pirate flag hole, you can see the pirate flag popping up right now. That is exactly level with where the basket is. So if you just push a forehand out to the right or anything finishing right out to the right and just sort of crash into this basket, that's you're looking pretty good. I find the common error here is people try to really push it into the trees, but you don't need to. If you land where you can see it, you'll have a 10-foot putt.
And getting it to flatten out at the end, I think, is more important than pushing in towards the basket.
Yes. And because you can easily roll from the basket all the way OB on this hole.
Yeah, it wants to pick up on edge and funnel it right down into
Yeah.
Pyre Flag. Jeff Berta, one of your course designers, put the pirate flag up there as an indicator, but also to notify that this hole, although it's very short, it will steal your points, it will steal your strokes.
Clever.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, James definitely left that one too inside. This is tough. I remember there being quite a strong left to right wind here, which would just push all your discs way into the trees. All four of our competitors seem to have left them too inside. So somebody is putting out here. I don't know who, but there's somebody in those woods.
To add insult to injury on this hole already, you've got the wind, and then you've got thorn trees everywhere in there too.
Yes.
So you're going to come out a little bit bloody. Oh, almost makes it.
That may have been Cam's marvel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's hard to tell coming out of the bush. This is Jake. He's got a line. He's right there.
But I think that's Cam over to the left there, though.
That's a good point. Maybe it was James's marvel then.
And Jake was close enough. He makes his bird.
That is
Excellent.
tight in there. That is very tight. Okay. And then, you know, they all got really fortunate kicks, except for potentially James, who that is his...
Oz. From the cliff. Well done.
Don't forget to maintain your balance.
You didn't think he practiced that in his practice round?
No. I wouldn't be surprised.
Thank you to Verticam Foamworks for sponsoring that hole. On to number 16.
James with the only 3 there. Lots of 2s. Hole 16, 280 feet. That's pretty accurate. You can't see the basket from the tee pad, so you're relying on either a forehand out way left and have it come crashing in, and hopefully it stops on the hillside. Or you got to throw a backhand that floats all the way there and just sort of checks up nicely. It is a very difficult hole for how it looks. For 280 feet, you would think it would be easy, but the wind coming in and the hillside and everything, and the OB being 15 feet from the basket.
Yeah, it will goat you into going OB. If you think you're going to get greedy, get lucky. It's playing as the 5th most difficult hole today.
Makes sense. And luckily the corn's not there, so you can swing it out a little bit wider, but still. I think the play is just to get down the hill, try to make your putt for your 2, and take your 3 happily.
Yeah, the right-hand side is definitely safer. You don't want to push that corn. The year before at the Winter Farms Open, the marsh to the right was also OB, but it's all dry at this point, so it was inbounds. But he did the exact mistake that you don't want to do, which is push left.
Yeah, that's the that one will be quite a bit up the fairway, so he'll be okay. But
you can even make a putt from OB there.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is the other mistake, and now he's going really far to the right, and he will have to make a long putt coming up.
Oh, he got a hold of that one really good, but it needs to get out. Oh.
I wonder if that got a skip. Oh, it definitely did not. He is throwing from OB very early.
That's too bad.
I believe that was his max. He was saying that it just never came back enough for him.
Holy shit, that's nice too.
That's a great shot, though. I think he's within 5 feet.
Jake, yeah, you're almost in the marsh.
Yeah.
A good bid from the bottom of the hill. There'll be a tap in.
I think that's a smart play. If you just get out to the right and try and make your putt up the hill, don't risk the OB.
Daniel Crawford and Mike Ishenko getting the birds on 34 or 16 today.
Oz from about 25 feet from the OB for his 3, and he makes it.
Done deal. So, if you do get out there far enough, you can save the par from OB. Not the way you want to do it, but...
That's kind of why I like the backhand play, though, for this. You're guaranteed if you just get it over. If it starts coming back, you're guaranteed, almost a guaranteed circle 3.
Yeah, don't spend any time over that cornfield.
Yeah, as little time over that cornfield as possible, because as you can see from James, even though he's only 20 feet from the basket, he's still going to take the 4. Hole 17, our second to last hole. On this hill, this elevated basket, it's hanging. It is so daunting. It's 171 feet. You can throw a forehand, skip it into the hill, and make your putt for your two. But if you're any farther than 15 feet away, this putt is terrifying.
It's got to be a layup under the basket, right?
Yeah, it depends. I think anyone on this card is going to run almost any putt at this and just expect to hit metal. But even if you hit metal, you can hit the ground and roll 50 feet away.
The slope is like 35 degrees at least. Here's Cam lining up with his slicked back hockey hair. You can see it glimmering.
That looked as perfect as you could do it, but is it and no! There it goes! It did check up, but he was under the basket, and now he is at the bottom of the hill, probably 25 uphill.
It almost stopped.
It wanted to. It had no momentum for a second. Oz going for the ace run.
That's all right up there. He'll have a pretty straight, flat putt from there.
Mm-hmm. Looking right down the hill, so better hope you make it.
Okay, Jake gonna try and take that same line, flatten it out. A little too flat, but...
And that's the problem. Now he's got a 40-foot putt for the two that he has to decide if he's going to run.
James saws off early, but I think he's going to be okay up there.
A lot of the time when you come in that early, you get this counter skip that just pushes you towards the basket. So we'll see where James ends up.
Yeah, Jake a little less than desirable. However, he doesn't have a world of trees in his way, so he makes a bid. Yeah. But that's a good spot to land, right under the basket, no mess.
I think he made the decision just to lay that one up. It's a daunting putt from down there.
Yeah, it's probably and no problem for Duong.
Yeah, so he must have got that counter skip. But yeah, Jake having a great round, not wanting to run an unnecessary putt.
Yeah, like we said early on in his career, up on lead card, running in second place. That's something worth defending, and it's hard to show that discipline too at that age.
Indeed.
When you really want to, put your skills to the test.
Look at Jake; he's still having trouble from 2 feet away getting it to the basket.
It's a bit of a reach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the finale. This hole is called Whiskey O'Clock.
Is it really?
Rye O'Clock.
Rye O'Clock.
That's right.
So there are a couple routes. You could try to take a forehand or a turnover low here, get to 40 feet left of the basket, and try to make a putt. I think everybody on our card is going to go high, try to throw a forehand up and above the trees, crash it down, catch a tree here, and hopefully make it. Or a backhand, but I think everyone here's got proficient enough forehand that they're going to be doing it.
Yep, high and over top.
That looked great from Cam.
Well, obviously not going to be able to see the landing zone from here, but you have to assume that's okay. Thanks again to True North Disc Golf for this tournament, all the supplies, and the amazing food from Janice working with the team as well.
That also looks good. Luckily, I have foresight. Yeah. I was there. I know exactly where these discs landed. Both of those went long. So did this one. All three of their drives ended up really good. You got to hope you catch a tree. None of them hit a tree. And they're all long. About 30 feet, though. Definitely makeable. And this is Jake, who ended up about 20 feet short, caught in a tree. Ozzy out here back, tucked in this brush pile. You can see his disc just resting there. It's definitely not optimal footing. Probably sitting around 40 feet, 35 maybe.
Oh, I think it hit one of those little twigs even.
Yeah, you can see that one dangling there, yeah. So Jake was actually caught up in the tree right at the top. He was 30 feet up in the tree.
Oh, was that a maintained balance almost?
Yeah, I think in the rule book it describes something along the lines of an example of picking up your mini, so people take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone thought that he wasn't...
just an energetic exit of his putt.
James actually has this awkward putt for his two. He had no way...
chewing on the twig.
Yeah, he was like 20 feet away, but he had no way of getting like a good putt out of there.
all in all, amazing results from those drives for everyone to get as close as they did.
Yeah, they needed a little more luck on the bounces off the trees, and they all would have been parked.
And this is another course record.
It is.
Oz, tying
2 in a row.
Zanini's previously set last year's record. 7 down on the Winding Woods, 2 course records in a row. Probably some legendary footage you just witnessed. The Long Bombers and the Winding Woods. Oz is simply on fire.
Yeah, I think Oz put down a 10-20 rated round.
That's why I figured I was okay.
Again, with so much more improvement out there. He definitely didn't play 100% clean. So you wonder what can be done out there if everyone does it. So to finish off, looks like Oz is 7 down, doing really good. I think Cam Zanini shot 2 down, Jake with the 2 down, and James Duong, I think, with a +2.
That's right.
Finish off. So not what James wants, but Jake Cam and Oz really coming together.
See if there's any more course records in our final rounds. Come and tune back in for Peace Bridge, Disc Golf Days, True North, and Covered by Jay. Let's take a look at the final leaderboard.
As I said, Oz coming in 7 down, another course record. Jake, Cam Zanini, and a new guy, Abraham Neufeld, coming in to take James' spot on the lead card.
Right on. So we get to see Abe's debut on the footage for Canadian Disc Golf Productions. I'm Patrick McCauley.
And I'm Chris Brown.
We'll catch you